Summer is almost here, which means it's probably time to reevaluate and switch up your makeup routine. It's time to look for products that stand the test of time, that last through heat, humidity, and sweat. In today's video, I'm gonna give you a summer makeup routine that is gonna deliver just that. Let's get started. Okay, so first we always start with an SPF, am I right? Regardless of what time of the year it is, but especially in summer. Now, one of my favorite tinted SPFs that I apply every single day is the Elastin Mineral Hydra Tint. This, you can see, is like on its last leg. I have another bottle at home. I've used this product for years, and what I love about this particular product is that it is an SPF, it's a 36, so it's not a 50. You could definitely find better. But what I love about this is how beautiful it looks on the skin and how well it plays under every foundation that I pair it with. Whether it's a liquid, a cream, a powder, foundation, it just looks beautiful underneath it. It also looks beautiful by itself. There are many days where this is all I will wear on the skin, maybe with a little concealer, and it will even out my skin tone. Now, it's not like phenomenal coverage by any means. It's definitely a tinted SPF, but it probably offers the most coverage from tinted SPFs that I've tried. I'll take that back. There's a few that have come out that actually offer about the same amount of coverage, maybe a little bit more. But another thing I love about this is the finish of this is like a radiant matte finish. So it gives a little bit of a glow. Like the skin looks radiant and natural, but it's not shiny or greasy, and it doesn't feel that way on the skin. It is really, really nice, you guys. I love this product. Now, every time I talk about this product on my channel, I always get a few comments about the price, so I'm gonna go ahead and address that right now. It is expensive. It has actually raised quite a bit in price since I've been using it. I wanna say when I first got on this product, it was maybe $60. Now it's $75, so it's a lot, you guys. If you have a favorite tinted SPF that you love, that works well under makeup, drop that down below and let everybody know because, sharing is caring, my friends. Okay, so I will apply this all over the skin. And do you see how the skin already looks pretty darn good? I mean, I can certainly just apply a little concealer and we're good to go. Okay, so for concealer, when you are thinking about sweat-proof makeup or summertime, if you live in a really hot, humid climate, the whole theme you're gonna see in today's makeup application is to keep things light. You don't want a lot of heavy products on the skin. So when I was looking at my collection of concealers, I was looking for a concealer that was a lightweight consistency, that offered good coverage, and that wore and stayed in place all day long. And the one that I came up with is the Lancome Tint Idole Ultra Wear Concealer. This is just a really nice formula. It offers great coverage, so you don't need a lot. You can use just a little bit of it and get phenomenal coverage. That's another thing about like lighter, sheer products. If they don't offer the coverage you need, you end up using more product. So even though it's lighter weight, you end up with a lot on the face to try and achieve the coverage that you want. So it kind of defeats the purpose. So this one is nice because it is really great coverage and it's lightweight, so you don't need a lot. So I'm just gonna put a little bit in the inner corner there, and then I'm gonna pull a little bit up here. This just kind of gives the eye a little bit of a lift. So I have this on the skin. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to kind of pre-blend it, and then I'm gonna let it sit for about 30 seconds and then go finish out and blend it. And what that does is it really allows it to get the most coverage out of the product. And I'm looking around and realizing I don't have a concealer brush, so I'll be right back. Okay, grabbed my A506. So what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna spread this just to spread it all underneath the eye. Rather than taking the product and swiping it all over the eye, underneath the eye, you're gonna get too much coverage. I don't need that much. But I do need coverage right here in the center where I did not apply the product. So I'm just kind of sweeping and spreading it there. And like I said, I'm gonna do a little bit of a pre-blend, but we're gonna let it sit for a minute or two. It did kind of self-set as I went and grabbed this concealer brush, so I'm just gonna let it sit for about another 20 seconds. Okay, so now let's go in and blend the rest of this out. And what I'm just gonna do is I'm just gonna press on top of it. This is gonna blend out, but also keep that coverage there. And then I'm gonna take any that's left over and kind of sweep it onto the eyelid. It's really important that we don't over-apply concealer here. Not only is over-applying concealer going to lead to just a heavier look underneath the eyes regardless of what time of the year it is, but especially in summer, if you apply too much product, you're really going to deal with like creasing and caking and having that product just move and migrate. It'll also cause other issues with the liner that you put on your lower lash line or your mascara if you have a lot of concealer underneath there. As the temperatures rise and your body temperature rises and you produce more oils and you just get hot and sweaty, your mascara, your eyeliner is gonna mix with that over application of concealer, and it's gonna lead to a big mess at the end of the day. So really, really make sure you don't over apply concealer here. Okay, you guys, so we have a pretty good application of concealer. I'm actually even gonna take my brush, kind of sweep it on a little towel here just to remove any excess. And I'm gonna go one more time and just blot underneath the eye to just kind of pull up any excess product. Okay, good, we're done. Okay, so we're gonna move on, but before we move on, my lips are extremely dry. Do you see how dry these lips are? I'm gonna go and apply a little lip balm. I'm gonna use this lip drink from Jane Iredale. This is a lip balm that has an SPF of 15 in it, so this is a really great product for summertime. And I have the shade Flirt. It's just a really light tint sheer shade. Doesn't offer a lot of pigment, but you'll get a little bit of a tint. So good, feels really nice. So just kind of let that sit on the lips and let it prep as we go in and apply the rest of our makeup. Okay, let's talk about foundation. Now, the foundation that I chose for this particular video, one that I think really checks all the boxes for sweat-proof summertime makeup, is the Jane Iredale Mineral Pure Pressed Foundation. Pure Pressed Base is what it's called, but I love this foundation. I'm a proud partner with Jane Iredale. I've worked with them for a couple years now, and this was the first product that I was introduced to on the brand, and it was the perfect product to be introduced to this brand because it is one of their best sellers, and it is just such an amazing, magical product. And then it led me to try others from the brand, and you guys know I just have a deep love affair for Jane Iredale. But let's talk about why this product is great for summertime. It has an SPF of 20, so that's great. We're spending more time outside, so it's always nice when you can get a little extra SPF benefits from your foundation in addition to the one that you're applying before foundation. It has clean, good for you ingredients, you guys, so when you're sweating and you're hot, you don't have to worry about it clogging your pores or just being too heavy or laying on the skin, and just it's good for your skin. So that's really important. It's so easy to apply, you guys, and it has a lot of versatility. I'm gonna go in with the N15 brush to apply this, and I'm just gonna start in the center of the face and just press here in the center of the face because that's where I want the most coverage. When I say it has a lot of versatility, what I mean is you can get full coverage from this product by doing the technique that I'm doing, which is using, a nice, not too oversized brush that has some density to it and just pressing and building coverage. But you can also get a lighter sheer application by working in large circular motions and just sweeping the product on the face. So if you want a lighter application, you can get it from this foundation. Now this finish is going to be like a natural radiant matte finish foundation. What do I mean by that? I mean that it's not shiny or dewy. It's not going to look greasy on the skin at all, but it's not matte and flat either. This actually has particles that reflect light, so that's what gives you that radiance from a matte finish. It's actually pretty magical. And I'm even going to set underneath the eyes with this product. I love this. It feels like nothing on the skin, and it just looks so beautiful and natural. This is the foundation that I will be wearing all summer long. I'm the shade Golden Glow in this. By the way, I'll have it all listed and linked in the description box along with all my shades. So if you missed it or I forget to mention it, everything is always included in the description box. Okay, so the skin is perfected. Do you see that? Full coverage, very natural. It feels like I have nothing on the skin. So good. And there's no shine or like pearlescent to the skin, which means it's going to look good all day. This is actually going to look better throughout the day. Once your skin starts to produce natural oils, it just really gets this very skin-like look. You can kind of speed that up by using a little bit of the Palm Mist Hydration Spray to set this. There we go. After I spray that, I like to take my brush and just bounce it on top of the setting spray just to kind of speed up that setting process. Okay, so this is what the finished look on the skin looks. Very natural, very skin-light, but very perfected. It feels weightless. I don't feel like I have a lot of makeup on my skin. I have a very natural matte finish, which is going to be great when I step outside and it's 100 degrees in Texas and I get a little shiny or oily. The foundation is matte, so it's not gonna look like greasy or heavy. Fun fact, you guys, before we move on, is May is Skin Cancer Awareness Month, and this product from Jane Iredale is Skin Cancer Foundation Recommended. Okay, so let's move on to bronzer. When it comes to blush and bronzer, this is the one time a year where I will kind of reel in a little bit of how many cream products I use. Not to say I won't use any. In fact, I am going to be using a cream blush, but I don't really like lean into the cream bronzer, the cream blush, the cream liquid highlighters, just because those can tend to heat up on the skin and look a little bit greasier 4 or 5 hours into your day. So I'm gonna really balance this look out with more predominantly powder products and maybe a few cream products sprinkled in. But the cream products that I'm using are gonna be known to just wear all day. So very, very important. So I'm gonna go in with one of my favorite powder bronzers. It's the Jane Iredale powder bronzer, and I'm the lightest shade in this. I'm gonna go in with the same brush, the N15, and I'm going to just kind of warm up the face a little bit, applying it right here on the cheekbone and then just sweeping it into the hairline. I like this formula because it's matte. It's a very silky formula, so it blends really nicely on the skin. It's not patchy. It's really easy to work with. The shades do run a little dark in my opinion, so normally I'm like not the lightest shade in the bronzer, but I'm the shade up. But in Jane's formula, I am the lightest shade, and it's the perfect shade for me. It's just so pretty. And I'm gonna apply a little bit on my nose, but I'm keeping the bronzer kind of light. You see, I'm not going heavy with it. I'm not doing like a heavy contour. Overall, this look is gonna be very light and fresh and warm. I'm using warm colors, kind of this sun-kissed look, but nothing's gonna look heavy. Okay, for blush, now I did lean into a cream blush here because I wanted a blush that has a lot of longevity, something that's gonna stay in place all day. And I find this cream blush from Danessa Myricks to be just that. It has Upsolite technology in it, which is gonna help control oil production throughout the day. It's similar to their, what are they called? Are they called the balm blurring powders, I think, which always throws me off because it's not a powder, it's more of a cream, but it's that same technology. This is the shade Rose in Brunch, and I'm gonna use the BK Beauty 112 to go into this product, and I'm gonna start a little light. I want the cheeks to be light, and these are pretty pigmented, so I wanna be really careful with my application. I'm gonna start right here, and I'm just gonna press it onto the skin. Do you see how much pigment we're getting? We're getting quite a bit of pigment, so you kind of have to be careful with this product not to apply too much. So I've got quite a bit here. I'm actually gonna take my brush, kind of remove any extra that I have, and then I'm gonna use large sweeping motions to sheer this out. This blush will stay on the skin all day. I don't have to worry about it melting off and fading. And then I'm gonna just sweep it right here on the temple. I find that blush is the one product that fades the most throughout the day on me, and especially in the summertime when it's hot and I'm sweating and it's humid. So with this particular product, I won't have to worry about that. Now I feel like I went a little heavy there. So if you ever feel like you go a little too heavy with your blush or your bronzer or any cheek color, you can always take your powder brush and go back into a powder, whether it's a setting powder, a pressed powder. I'm gonna go back in with the foundation, and I'm just gonna do a light little sweep kind of around and on top of it. It's just gonna blend out the edges, soften them, and lighten. What I love about this powder foundation too is that creams work really well on top of it. I did a video not too long ago on busting myths around powder foundation. I'm gonna link it right here for you guys. I really talk about all the common myths that we hear about powder foundation. Some of them are true, but I explain the why, like why that myth exists and how you can actually find products like the Pure Press Base that bust that myth. So I'm gonna link that video here if you wanna check it out. Okay, you guys, let's move on to eyes. Now, I'm keeping the eye look very simple, very minimal. In fact, I'm only gonna use one product on my eyelid. I'm gonna even skip an eyeshadow primer. When it comes to a long wearing cream shadow, I find the Merit Beauty ones to be the best, you guys. It's their solo shadow. I'm gonna use the shade Studio. And what I love about this formula is it's creamy and you have time to blend it and sheer it out, which is what I wanna do. But once it dries and sets, which is about 20 seconds after you've applied it, it doesn't budge, it doesn't move, it stays in place. I actually like to wear these by themselves versus putting shadow on top of it, like I do with the MAC paint pots. The MAC paint pots, they're long wearing and they stay too, but they stay a little creamier a little bit longer, so you have time to put a shadow to have it adhere to the shadow, where this dries pretty quickly and it doesn't budge. So again, the color is Studio. It's this really beautiful, soft, kind of light to medium toned pinky brown. And I'm gonna go in with my A502 crease brush, and we're just gonna load up the side of the brush, and we're gonna sweep this all over the lid from the lashes to just right above the crease. You can also use your finger to apply these, but I want to have a lot of control over this, so I'm gonna use this brush. It's such a pretty color. Now again, the eye makeup is gonna be simple here, you guys. This isn't a really elaborate makeup tutorial. This is really catered to summer sweat-proof makeup. Perfect. And I'm gonna kind of sweep that into the brow area here. Oh, it's so pretty. Do you see what that does? When I have this eye covered, it doesn't even look like I have makeup on, but when you compare the two, you can really see how that warmth plays up the green in my eyes. It just gives a nice even canvas on the eyelid. Now the key here is you don't want it to see where it stops. So I'm really diffusing this product out so that it kind of just like disappears into the skin. There's no harsh lines anywhere. So beautiful. Oh, I love that color. It is just gorgeous. Okay, I am going to take a little bit of this and I'm going to run it on my lower lash line too. And for that, I'm using the N12, the Nikki LaRose N12 smudger brush. Oh, I love this brush. I'm obsessed with it. And I'm going to just bring this on my lower lash line, and we're going to go all the way from the outer corner all the way to the inner corner. Because this shade is not really dark, I can do that. Usually you don't see me taking a lower lash line color that far in, but this one is really nice and light. This is such a pretty color, you guys. I love it. It is my color for summer. I'm gonna have to force myself not to use this in every video tutorial because you guys will get bored, but it is just gorgeous. It is so beautiful. We're gonna be heading to Africa soon. I can't wait for that trip. And these two products are definitely coming with me, this foundation and this eyeshadow. We're gonna have very minimal makeup on Africa, but we're gonna have a little bit because I want pictures. Okay, lovely. For liner, I'm gonna keep it really light, and I'm only gonna keep it on the upper lashes. We're not gonna put a liner on the lower lashes. I'm throwing in a little affordable beauty for you. This is the NYX retractable eyeliner in the shade Bronze. I love this shade for summer. It's deep enough to give some definition, but it's really not harsh at all. I like it because it's creamy and soft, but once it dries, it also stays in place. It doesn't smudge on me. I'm just gonna do a little bit right here on the outer half of my upper lash, and I'm gonna take that same N12 brush, and before this has time to set, I'm just gonna work it into the lashes. You don't have to be precise or perfect with this. I'm really just kind of smudging it and working it into the lashes. This is gonna look less like a line on the eyes and more just like you have some more depth and color right at the base of the lashes. Do you see how that just enhances the lashes a little bit, but you don't see liner? That's what we want to accomplish. And you really need to do that before it has time to dry. So don't do line this eye and then line this eye and then go do it. Line this eye, smudge it, work it, and then go back and do this. Now the key is just not applying too much of this product. If you apply too much, when you go to smudge it, you'll have too much product there and it can kind of get messy quick. So just do a little bit. Don't obsess over getting this line perfect because it really doesn't matter. You're just gonna go and messy it up anyway. So all you wanna do is get the product there. Another trick that you can do is you can actually take the brush and work it directly into the eyeliner like this, and then go to the eye if that's easier for you. And like I actually ended up getting a little more liner on this side than I did on this. This side has less, so we're gonna go and even it out. But for this, I'm gonna do this approach because this allows you to control it a little more. You don't have the opportunity to apply too much as easily. Okay, let's just do that. There we go, perfect. Oh, I just love this eye makeup. This is like my signature look right now. Soft, warm, neutral. Okay, for mascara, I'm gonna go in with the Tarte Surfer Curl Mascara. I have just been loving this mascara lately. It's not a new one, but it's like one that I just recently pulled out and discovered that I love again. And what I love about this mascara is it gives a little lift, but it gives lots of volume. And this doesn't flake, it doesn't smudge. It's just really nice, especially in warmer, hotter months. I'm not a huge fan of waterproof mascaras. If you have found a waterproof mascara that you love, drop it down below and let me know. What I need a mascara that looks soft and fluffy on the lashes. I don't like it to look too hard and like crispy. And also it needs to be able to remove easily. And I find that with waterproof mascaras, they're just really harsh on my lashes when it comes to removal. So I like to look for more transfer resistant or sweat-proof, smudge-proof mascaras. I'm gonna get an extra tube of this. This one is kind of drying out, but I'm getting the last little leg out of it. Now, when it comes to your lower lashes, honestly, you can skip mascara here altogether, especially if you live in a really hot, humid climate. If you put mascara on the lower lashes, you can be dealing with, raccoon eyes midway through the day. So this is a time where you can totally skip mascara on the bottom. Now, if that it seems off to you and you feel like you need something there, just keep it very minimal. You don't want to over apply mascara on the lower lashes because it will heat up, your skin will produce oils throughout the day, and those oils will integrate with that mascara. And if you have too much concealer going on, it's just a hot mess. and you're not gonna love it. So just a tiny bit. I mean, just go in here and go 1, 2, and then you're out. Just to give some definition, but not much. Okay, you guys, we're almost done. We are on to lips. Now that lip balm has had time to really hydrate the lips. My lips don't feel super dry. I'm actually gonna keep the lips pretty light here. So instead of using a lipstick, a heavier lipstick, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna line and fill the lips in with a lip pencil. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk. And I'm just going to line the lips and then fill them in with this liner. You'll also find that the lip liner glides on really smoothly and evenly when you use this product. It's not glossy. So you know how sometimes you'll put a lip gloss or like a really glossy lip balm, like a lip conditioner in, and when you go to put liner, you don't see the liner because it just can't like penetrate through that thicker gloss to the lips and actually color the lips. That won't happen with this. You can actually color the lips with a lip pencil with this on, and it's just real nice and smooth and even. And then I am gonna sketch and fill in the lip. You don't have to like completely fill the whole lip in, but what you want to do here is you want to just have that lip liner seamlessly fade into the lips. To top it, I'm just going to use a lip oil. I'm going to use one of my favorites. This is from Merit Beauty. When it comes to lip oils, there's a wide range, I feel, of textures. And I honestly love lip oils. I love the heavier ones. I love the heavier, glossier ones. And I love the really light, sheer ones. The only ones I don't like, and this may be an unpopular opinion, is the Rare Beauty lip oils. Have you guys tried those? I feel like they dry my lips out. But anyway, this one from Merit Beauty is more on the lighter weight side. It's very light. It has a really pretty lightweight feel and slip to it. The color is actually pretty like medium for a lip oil. Some lip oils are very sheer and just have a little tint. This actually has some color to it. This is the shade Au Naturel, by the way. And it is a really nice complement to this eyeshadow. So good. It feels so good on the lips. If you're looking for a lightweight lip oil that has more pigment to it, this formula is the one to try. I really love it. So it's great to wear alone. Some lip oils are so sheer that you want to make sure you have a lipstick or lip color underneath it. Otherwise, it ends up looking clear after about 5 minutes. This color will actually stay on my lips for a good amount of time for a lip oil. So it almost like stains the lips a bit. Okay, and we're done, you guys. Fresh, light, summery makeup that is gonna look good 5, 6, 7 hours later, even if I step outside in 90, 95, 100 degree temps, okay? You guys, this makeup is going to last throughout the day. Oh, my goodness, I almost forgot the one last step to really lock your makeup in, you guys. We're pulling out the big guns. The One Size Mattifying Waterproof Setting Spray. This will like do the trick. This will seal your makeup, stay all day, even if you use like a hydrating setting spray like I did the Palmist initially when I applied my foundation. I'm gonna go in with this as just a last step to the process and your makeup will not budge. Okay, we are done, you guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you took away some tip or two, or maybe a product recommendation that you're gonna pick up. If you did, let me know in the comment section below. I'm gonna list and link all of these products in the description box. I'm also gonna tag them in the YouTube shopping platform to make it a little bit easier for you. And the last thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pin a comment underneath this video, and I'm gonna link to one post where you can shop everything in this video. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to check out this one. I think you'll enjoy this one next. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a beautiful day.